Hello and welcome to another Warcraft commentary casting thing. Today we're going to be bringing you a 2v2. That's right. It's a 2v2 for WDFC. I believe it's WDFC, WFDC, It's one of the two. The name will be in the title. So the players today: Nicker spawning as the blue elf in the top, allied with Lucifer spawning as the teal undead. And actually, let me go ahead really quickly and just get these both teal. There we go. Okay, so they're both teal now. This is Lucifer, the one and only. This is Nicker. You probably know him. If you don't, he's a great elf player. And they're against what I believe are two Korean or Chinese people. I don't know. This is 9527. He's an orc. I'm guessing is his actual name. And this is Daxi. So I realize I don't think these people have more well-known nicks, but they might. To my knowledge, this is kind of what it is. And WDFC is, you have a lot of games against good players who are professionals and well-known versus a lot of these players who aren't so well-known, but they're also good players. So it should be fun to watch. And yeah, and I've never done a 2v2, but there's going to be 2 games in this series, I do believe. And this is the first one of them. The next one will be up sometime today. I probably won't have time to get both of them up right now, so but because I do have to go to classes. But once I get back, I should be able to put up the second one, and just talking about that because we're just seeing lots of scouting going on. Now this is a 2v2. Like I said, I've never actually cast a 2v2. It's going to be a lot of action in this game, and it's a lot harder to to do a good job commentating on 2v2s. So I'm probably going to miss stuff. Feel free to complain about it. I will read it and I will take it into account. So anyway, here we can see a little bit of this going on. This is Nicker again getting his wisp chased down by this demon hunter. Isn't going to be able to find a spot to hide in. It doesn't look like it. It's probably just going to die, and he gets a detonate off, which means it burns 50 of his mana as well as giving him no experience. So that's better than having it die. Over here we can see there's a blade master and a grunt just creeping this out. I would expect, okay, here we come in a harassing priestess of the moon. I'm going to just do a little bit of damage where he can. That would be good. And we can see over here, he's probably going to try to kill this grunt. And as you can see, he might manage to get it. He's blocking it, making it take a little bit of extra damage from the creeps. And in fact, it definitely looks like it's going to go down. It's going to be very difficult for him to keep that alive. And he's probably going to try to deny it. And he goes ahead and gets the deny off. So that's very good. We've seen 2 basic denies so far in this game. Here we go, the orc going back to creep this again. Over here we can see the undead Lucifer going for the creep, and we do see the demon hunter as well as a wisp coming in. The wisp is coming in to basically detonate on these skeletons, and Lucifer kind of knew this was coming. Maybe saw as it ran by over here, and so he went ahead and took the skeleton and said, you know what, I'm going to lose you. And so that's what he did. He lost him, and now the elf doesn't know if he's over here or if he kept and decided to come over here and creep. So it's good, very good job by Lucifer. Oops, sorry about that sound. And here you can see, it looks like he's just taking a pretty good guess right here to find him, which is good for him. He's going to need all the help he can get against Lucifer, of course. And I think he did in fact steal the null, it looked like, because he got, I believe, 12 experience from the skeleton and then 20 from that level 1 null, if I'm not mistaken. And let's look over here. We can see that this is a priest of the moon being chased by a healing salve, the Windwalked Blade Master. This is a health fountain. There is no dust on the Blade Master, so of course the priestess of the moon can sit there and go and shadow meld and be just fine. Here we do see some huntresses going on over here. We can see that over here we have the Blade Master and a grunt creeping this out. This is a good little item drop from this Forest Troll Berserker. And then the Shadow Priest is a very easy camp to creep, and it's just nice to go ahead and creep it. As you can see, he got a nice claws of attack from that. I believe that's what he got from there. Looked like it. Anyway, so here we can see this is the Night Elf coming over here for the harass, while Lucifer creeps this out with a Huntress as well as his Demon Hunter. Lucifer does have 4 fiends, so he's going to be able to push this off. The question is he going to be able to push this off while he creeps? And it looks like he's going to just decide to back off a little bit there. He does want to go ahead and finish this off because there will be an item drop from this one, I do believe. Yeah, and a tome will drop from that one. Here we can see up to 5 fiends. Surround almost going off on the Demon Hunter, very narrowly not getting surrounded. And here we can see that there was a little bit of creeping going on right here from the Priestess of the Moon. The orc right there just doing what he can do. Nothing too interesting over there. Let's look back over here. We can see that this Demon Hunter and this creep really basically sprawling all over the screen. And here we can see there's going to be a Tome of Strength dropping. The Death Knight being mana burned, he's down to basically 14 mana, not enough to get a coil off. And here we can see this is running away, and over here we can see a creep going off. For Nicker, he's just sitting here at the fountain with his Priestess of the Moon. Let's see, he's got these hunts, so he's going to come in here, maybe get a harass. Maybe he's going to harass on this demon hunter. So we can see quite a few. We have five hunts for Nicker and only 3 hunts for Daxi. So there's no real point in waking up these creeps because all of these units can, of course, go shadow mode. And then if you're shadow mode at a healing fountain, it doesn't really matter if you take a little bit of damage. Here you can see yet another hunt coming out for Nicker, and you can see a little bit of harass going off. A little bit of a minor fight, really, and this grunt is going to go down, it looks like. It's going to be very difficult for 9527 to keep that alive, and as you can see, it's running away. The Blade Master doing his best to kill the Priestess of the Moon. However, of course, the Priestess of the Moon is actually in that grunt, is getting a decent way, and it does manage to deny itself. A whole bunch of denies in this game. This Priestess of the Moon, very low HP, running away. He's going to have to really run from this Blade Master. However, the Blade Master does not have boots. He is still faster than the Priestess of the Moon. There is no dust, so he's going to be able to sit here. Do we see a dust going off somewhere? No dust at all. So no dust on the Demon Hunter either. And this Blade Master taking quite a bit of damage. The creeps have awoke up, and here we can see this forcing out of the Demon Hunter, who is the only unit in this whole fight that cannot go invisible. Every other unit has gone invisible. However, Daxi went ahead to run away, and he screwed up with his hunts for some reason. And I don't know what he was trying to do right there, but he did go ahead and take a little bit extra damage. Here we can see Nicker going ahead and creeping this out, and you can see he actually has his Owl Scout at level 2. Or is that, yeah, that's Owl Scout at level 2. However, a Keeper of the Grove has come in, and Lucifer is in as well to say, you know what, screw this Keeper of the Grove. He nukes it, and he does some focus fire down. Here you can see Lucifer and Nicker actually being able to creep this out. There's 2 very, very good items you can get here, and here one is already dropped. It's an amazing item for a Death Knight. Or no, I guess he got it from the shop over there. Never mind, I thought one of these level 5s have died. Level 5s can drop very good items. You can get Wands of Wind, and you can get summons and such things. Here you can see he dropped a dust for a Wand of Mana Stealing. Not the greatest item you can get from that, but you can get a Mana Stone as well. So these are really nice items nonetheless to have. And of course, for Undead especially, he needs to have lots of mana, but here we can see a little bit of mana going out. He uses one of the Mana Stones he did have, and he gets past the other one. Of course, again, like I said, mana is very important. And doing that's going to be very nice because it allows this to have it get through its cooldown, as well as coming in here and having a full mana push. This is going to be a very big push right here by Lucifer and Nicker. Whereas the Orc, I'm just going to quickly look over here. The Orc is actually at Nicker's base doing some damage, and over here we can see that, however, that Lucifer and Nicker are basically completely able to obliterate the Night Elf's army. And the question is, are they going to be able to do enough damage here to force the Orc to either retreat? However, the Orc does have Raiders, so it looks like what's going to end up having to happen is Lucifer or Nicker are going to have to TP here, which will allow this Orc to TP over here. And we can see one of the players is, in fact, it's going to be Nicker TPing out to his base to try to save his base. Will he be able to save his base? It's very close, and now, unfortunately, he was not able to save his main. The main goes down. Here we do see he was able to get TP off just in the nick of time to get in here, and he does go ahead and drop a Raider. He's going to be able to kill a Grunt, and he might be able to get a second Raider as well. It looks like both of these units will go down. Very good micro from Nicker. Of course, hunts were faster than both of those units either way, but still very nice. Here we see the Blade Master actually going ahead and trying to pick off some Wisps. There's not a whole lot of Wisps left for Nicker. We do see one, and we see another one right there. We do see this Blade Master. It's being taking damage. Owl Scout is out again, of course, which reveals invisible units. Let's look back down here to this base. Here you can see Lucifer actually able to hold this army off pretty easily. Not really afraid of this army at all. He's got plenty of Fiends out on the field, and they do have 1/1 upgrades versus no upgrades on the Elf units. And of course, he's level 4 on his Death Knight versus level 1 Demon Hunter and level 1 Keeper of the Grove. He's not really in a bad position. He's here, just sitting here, creeping out, or doing a lot of damage. Here comes the Orc as well, however, and we do see a little bit of damage going off, and another Fiend dropping. I believe one of the Fiends was perhaps Death Pacted, indeed. And he only has level 1 aura, so he did do that. He does go ahead and Death Coil yet another Fiend. It's been entangled, and there's one that is ensnared. This is not a very good fight for Lucifer. He's waiting on Nicker. He's holding out as long as he can. However, he has been hexed, and he's losing 2 more Fiends this way. He's going to lose another Fiend if he's not very quickly at this, and he might go ahead and nuke down the Blade Master. The Blade Master does go down, and here we can see the Death Knight, or the Demon Hunter, taking quite a bit of damage. He's not in a good position. He's going to drop, and he does die as well. And we can see yet plenty of the enemy hunts dropping as well. And we can see that lots of Dryads are out, so that's a lot of heroes dying right there. 2 heroes for the enemy. However, of course, we do see some 2 more Raiders over here at Nicker's base, having to deal with quite this bit of harass. And we do see yet another Raider on its way. The 3 Raiders, Nicker completely unable to rebuild over here. However, he does have this expansion, so he's not in a terrible position. He can sit there and feed Lucifer as a worst case. Lucifer almost a tier 3. Look over at the Orc space for just a second. He is tier 3, in fact. And getting a couple of watchtowers up, this is going to be a very hard fight for this Orc. He's going to have to be very creative to win this game. because this elf is going to lose this base here, and there's not really a whole lot that can be done about that. And we can see these two Ancient of Wars just trying to do something over here, but not really able to do too much. We do see, what is this, 5 raiders in on 5 raiders plus a Shadow Hunter at level 1. Here we do see a bunch of Dryads and the Keeper of the Grove coming over here to harass Nicker's expansion. And we do see this the other Daxi's main going down. We see Lucifer TPing out probably over here, yes indeed, to over here to save this expansion. He doesn't come out with too many units. It might just be that he's lost a lot of fiends. In fact, it looks like he has. Nicker going ahead and picking off these Dryads that try to run away. And of course, there's nothing left here. We do see a bunch of Wisps running away. Well, it looks like one of these Dryads is going to get away with just 29 HP. He's going to have to run straight across, so he'll be right here and able to heal up at that healing fountain if he so chooses. Here we can see that Lucifer is down to, well, he looks like he's back up to quite a few fiends. Double slaughterhouse, and he's still at 50 food. We do see a spirit tower as well as a Purebe with very aggressive placements on them, and he's getting even more fiends out who are still at just 1/1 upgrades. Here you can see 2 Ancient of Wars going down. The fight that they're going to have to take at this point against this orc is going to be the idea of base racing, because as you can see, there are the upgraded towers over here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and so they're gonna have to deal with that in some way or another, because the orc, of course, has a little bit more mobility there, and with that, these watchtowers does have quite a bit of ability to turtle, and with plenty of things to repair. So, what are we gonna see happen? I don't know. Here we just see the orc. It looks like the orc is going ahead and putting down some watchtowers here. He may decide to put up this as an expansion. If the orc is capable of putting up an expansion, you'll be in a pretty good spot. For the orc himself, his ally, of course, not in that great of a spot. His ally not having a base anymore. Definitely not very good. He is going ahead and throwing up some Moonwells as well as an Altar of Elders in his base, but it's not going to be a whole lot effective here. We do see the Altar of, I don't know why I'm talking about the Altar of Darkness, but I wanted to remember what the name of it was. There's like, they're all different. Altar of Storms for the orc and Altar of Darkness. I got it now, but anyway, anyway, so we can see that this is Nicker's expansion as well. I definitely think Nicker and Lucifer are in a very, very good position to win this game right now. Of course, but it's not over yet.
Forces are under attack.
It's definitely not over yet. We do have 2 red creeps on the map, so it depends on who get these creeps. We can see, actually, it looks like this Shadow Hunter is going to be forced to TP out, perhaps. Yes, indeed, he does TP out. His Raider is going to go down. Not really an ideal spot. We do see, basically, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, because it looks to me like Daxi and 9527 are really not going to be able to win this at all. It doesn't look like they have any chance in hell, but they might be able to. I'm not sure. We see it looks like 3 raiders going to die here if they don't get out of this mess right here, and it's not good because they need to keep these raiders alive. Of course, they are in this position where they're against very high-level heroes, and they're against quite a bit of a large army here. It's a very basic army. It's a tier 1 army. It's fiends and hunts, but still, that's not something you want to mess around with by losing your raiders. You need these raiders to go in here. You need these raiders to harass. You need to be able to put on pressure while they so that they cannot actually go in and push your expansion, so that they cannot push your main base, so that you can actually regroup. And if you're losing raiders the way they've been losing them, then they're obviously not going to be able to do that. And here we can see really well micro just keeping these hunts that are tanking on the hunts and then making them go invisible so they don't actually die. Pretty good micro. That's just what you want to do. And here we do see, if we look back over here, we do see it looks like this is going to get a lot of pressure put on it. Here come the raiders. The Wisp are going to die. Are they going to be forcing the TP? They are forcing a TP from Lucifer. However, Nicker is going to stay over there, it looks like, and Lucifer is going to be able to deal with this army, no problem. Immediately just destroying that Blade Master with a Coil Nova. However, the Tree of Life does still go down, and the armies are going to retreat now, and so that's quite insane how much damage there is at the level 5 1 Lich, 5-2 Lich, whatever you want to call it. And here you see the Keeper of Grove just saying, you know, I'm going to go ahead and entangle this fiend just to be a little bit annoying as I run away, and you can't catch me. So that's what we're seeing, and we do see, of course, Lucifer is actually staying in upkeep, or under upkeep, I mean, and we do see Nicker immediately rebuilding that Tree of Life. Here is Nicker's army, completely finishing off that expansion that 9527 had. And here we can see this is last of Daxi's buildings right there. And you can see that Daxi is going ahead and throwing up a Tree of Life right here. If he can get this expansion, that would be nice. However, we do see Nicker has a Scout Wisp right there, so you will be able to see that if it gets daytime or whatever. Here we do see an Owl Scout going around. I don't know if you actually saw it. The Owl Scout at this level 1, does not have a very large range. Actually, that might be level 2. Let's look and see from his point of view. And it looks like that is actually a level 2 Owl Scout. In fact, he has a very large sight range, as you can see, and he does in fact see this expansion going up. So let's do that. Let's go back to the observer point of view, and you can see this red going off. An amazingly good item for the undead player here. For Lucifer, the Khadgar's Pipe of Insight. That is giving you a Brilliance Aura. That gives you a very nice Brilliance Aura. And of course, again, as you know how important the undead mana is, that is a very, very big deal. Of course, however, it's not as big of a deal given the fact that they're not really getting a lot of direct fights off, but it will ensure that they will constantly be able to Coil Nova any of these raiders and such things as they get a chance to. It's going to be an immediate nuking onto this Shadow Hunter. However, the Shadow Hunter does TP out just immediately. As soon as he sees the undead army, he tried to run away just a little bit, and then he TP'd immediately. I think he realized that his HP was very low, and he would have died very quickly to a to a Coil Nova, and it would have absolutely instantly killed him, and that could have ended the game.
A player's forces are under attack.
Sorry about that. Here we can see a grunt being picked off in the middle of the map, and if we look back over here, we can actually see it looks like the Daxi's army is trying to run in maybe and getting picked off. 2 Dryads being picked off by Lucifer. If you can, you could probably just sit here and start coiling this this Keeper of the Grove and do quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure why he's not. He has 435 mana. I believe 3 coils might be enough. I'm not sure. Let's see. It's level 5, so they do. It's 70 damage for each level. It's level 3. It's 140, 210 damage, so it would be what, 200, 630. I guess it would be 4 coils in to actually kill that, but still, it's not too bad. But we do see it looks like Coil Nova is probably going off onto this Demon Hunter right here. The Demon Hunter very low. It doesn't have a TP. Goes down to a coil at the end of that. Unfortunately, it looked like the Keeper of the Grove wanted to pass a TP scroll to him, not quite fast enough. Died just as he got there. Here we see the Daxi retreating a little bit back here, but we do see that Lucifer and Nicker, knowing about this expansion, they're going to go over here and pick that off instead of attacking directly into this base. Here we can see Daxi throwing down another expansion. However, of course, this Owl Scout at level 2 can easily see that. And here we do see a couple of Wind Riders coming out from the Orc player 9527, and here he is just picking off things, forcing a TP. He's going to run away as fast as he can. It might have been a good idea to run those whibs right up into the trees, just because it might be Lucifer, and in fact it was Lucifer. Here we do see Nicker over here. A TP coming off right here. Where is it going to be? It's going to be from the Orc player, and that is this guy. He's going to be able to easily pick off this army because he has Wind Riders that cannot be attacked by the Hunts. Of course, Nicker knew that, and he TP'd out immediately. Here we see the rest of Nicker's army attacking this expansion, trying to stop it from going up. And here we can see this is Daxi going down here to maybe try to defend this expansion. However, what is he going to be able to do? It's not going to be able to stay up at all. There's no way. It's just simply not going to happen, but he's going to try anyway to maybe pick off these Hunts. If he does pick off those Hunts, will it be worth it? I'm not sure. He's going to have to use a TP here, very likely to TP out, because of course Lucifer's army is still very close, but we might see that not happening. We already see quite a few Wind Riders actually. And they speed scrolled all of them except for one. That one will be webbed and picked off. There was a Nova on them, which slowed them down, and that's why we did see, I believe, the speed scroll going off to try to speed them up and get them out of there. Here's Daxi's expansion, actually not finished off. It looks like they're going to go ahead and go for this creep instead. And of course, whenever you have this sort of a situation, here you see actually one of Lucifer's acolytes being entangled and killed that way. His gold mine almost going down. He does have a boneyard up, and he's making a shade. And over here we can see this is just the army that the expansion from Nicker. Here we see a bunch of Huntresses running over here. This is actually a lot closer to a game than I thought it would be. With those Wind Riders, it's a lot of harassment. As you can see, he's coming in here and he's doing what he can. He's doing his best to prevent them from attacking over here. And of course, Lucifer is the one who has to go back to his base, because there's no way Nicker could beat this army. So it's a very good idea that they've gone to go Wind Riders. It's very versatile. We do see the Blade Master taking a whole bunch of damage from a Coil Nova and only going down to 70 life as he gets TP'd out, very close. And if you can pick off this army right here, that would be very good, because if Nicker dies, if Nicker's army goes down, then Lucifer's in a bad spot, because in order to actually keep pressuring, it has to be Lucifer who keeps coming back to save this expansion. And we do see some Ancient Protectors going up, which is a very good choice. And we do see that actually the Orc has managed to catch up to the Nicker's army, and we do see the other elf Daxi going in here as well, coming in and flanking him. Here we do see these Wind Riders fighting, and here could be this could be it. We do see these fiends attacking the Wind Riders. If the Orc 9527 loses his Wind Rider army here, it's going to be very, very bad. He needs to get out, and he is in fact running away with the speed scroll, getting out as fast as he can. because they cannot take a direct fight. They just absolutely cannot do it with Lucifer there. Lucifer will beat them very badly. He has very good hero levels, 5-3, and he's got these 1-1 fiends with web, and now he actually has a destroyer on the field as well. Is going to allow him to eat the entangles from the Keeper of the Grove, as well as the hexes from the Shadow Hunter. So here we do see there's actually a Black Sheep's, or one of Nicker's, I'm sorry, Huntress is sitting there at the fountain and actually gets dusted and killed. And here we do see, of course, Lucifer going right back into this harass expansion, attack it as fast as it can. And we're going to probably see him maybe go for another attack on the expansions. Perhaps not, he's running down for some reason. In other words, they are basically sacrificing this expansion. There's nothing really happening here at this expansion. It didn't really be able to get any time to go up. So we're going to see this is about to go down, and when that dies, that's also going to die. So it's going to be only Nicker mining gold very shortly in this game. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Of course, they lost, 9527 lost, I believe, quite a few Wind Riders, which is not good for them in that fight right there down at the bottom over here, and that's not good. And we can actually see over here, we do see Nicker throwing up yet another expansion, and Daxi going ahead and quickly scouting that and picking it off. With these 3 Ancient Protectors, it doesn't seem like 9527 is going to be able to actually do much there. And here we can see he's running away. He does see that Lucifer's army is here. Does he have a TP? He has a TP on the Shadow Hunter. Unable to really do anything with that TP, however. And you can't really harass his base either because there's a Spirit Tower as well as a Nubian Tower there. And he's basically just playing a little bit of a game of Ring Around the Rosie with Lucifer here. Lucifer's army coming in this way, and now it looks like he's probably going to run back out the other way. So as you can see, just being as smart as he can to not fight and try to get away. However, Lucifer is very fast, and here we do see Lucifer actually going ahead and catching up, and we do see the Shadow Hunter immediately TPing out, and lots of damage going off on the Destroyer. However, Lucifer very quick with the coil to keep it alive. So not good for 9527. But over here we do see that Daxi actually has an expansion. I didn't actually see where this was coming from. I guess it was built over here or something, but it's walked its way over here. So Daxi is going to be able to get some gold here as well. And we do see, of course, 9527 capable of long way mining this mine. So mining that gold, very important to do because they need money. Here we do see a little bit of damage going off onto that Destroyer, almost dying, being coiled by Lucifer just in the nick of time, and running away and chasing him down and killing one of the Dryads very close to level 6. If he gets level 6, that will allow him to get level 2 aura, which I don't think he would get the ultimate because there's really no reason to. In a game like this, he's not really going to be fighting all that many direct fights, and ultimate not as good as being able to catch people who are running away very, very far from you. Or running away a lot from you, not very far, but I guess they're doing a little bit of both there. You can see over here the orc just getting a little bit of creeping going off. Hero levels, items, experience, all of that is good to get. I guess hero levels is experience, but whatever. Anyways, we do see Daxi's army right here, just sitting here. He does have a TP on the Keeper of the Grove just in case. It would take a little bit of focus fire as well as a coil nova to kill him, but he would die very, very quickly. He's just picking off these Nicker's wisps while they come up here. He's just like, I know that they're trying to get up here, and he doesn't want to be scouted right there. I don't know why he didn't go over here and do that one instead, but he did not, and so he's just basically sitting there at Nicker's original gold mine, and now he's going to be chased by Lucifer. Lucifer actually has a Dreadlord out on the field now as well, and that Dreadlord is going to, if he gets a sleep off on the Keeper of the Grove, it means probably death for both of these Dryads, and it's going to burn a TP for sure. Here we see Lucifer going ahead and coming up here, and he does actually manage to scout that Daxi has this going up, and I'm not sure if this actually paid off or not. I don't know how long it was running, but it didn't run for all that long, but so it might or might not have. It's probably very close. Anyway, we do see though down here not really much that 9527 and Daxi can do about this. Nicker throwing down yet another expansion down here. We do see actually 9527 getting an expansion up at his natural, as well as getting a watchtower, which is of course upgraded to be one of these with the super armor. So super fortified. Lucifer getting in here and getting a scout off on this as it happens as this watchtower goes up. So they're going to be able to immediately go for this attack with a little bit of an early alert now that Acolyte has been attacked, and Daxi and 9527 may decide this is a good time to go harass. However, what are they going to really do? They don't have enough units, just they don't have it. They're just finally able to start getting some. This Destroyer taking a lot of damage, Destroyer getting critted as he gets coiled, so unable and going down. One Wind Rider being webbed and being picked off, and who would you see an Owl Scout pretty much sitting on top of this 9527's army. Here we do see Lucifer going in here, basically saying, I've had enough of this, I'm going to attack your base, and I'm going to kill it. 9527 sitting here at this base, unable to really do too much, taking a massive amount of damage on his Blade Master from that Coil Nova right there. And that's really all it's going to take. Yet another Fiend, another Windrunner as it comes out, getting webbed and picked off. Daxi completely unable to really do too much at all right now. I don't know where his army is. I guess his Demon Hunter is right there, but he can't really do any harass right there. If we look back over here, we can see this fight going off, and 9527 thinking, I don't really want to fight this, but I don't know if I really have a choice here, because as you can see, he's really just sitting back at the very hair of his tongue here. Lucifer just doing what he can do, as well as Nicker. They take quite a bit of, as you can see, 3-1 plus that True Shot where it gives them a lot of damage. And here we do see another Windrider being picked off. 9527 army slowly just dying, and unless he really, I don't know, unless he just runs away, I don't see how he's going to be able to stay in this game. It looks like he's about to lose his entire army here. Definitely will lose all of these Windriders if he keeps letting this happen. Yet another one going to be picked off after he gets webbed. And it looks like there's almost all of the towers are down. There's only one tower still alive, and the burrows, of course, do have a little bit of peons in there doing little peon things, whatever it's called, doing their damage, acting as a tower. Being satisfied with what he's done up there, he's decided to come down here. Lucifer, that is, has decided to come down here and pick off this watchtower as well. If we look up here, we can see Daxi just doing what he can. I think this might have been an expansion by Lucifer going up. However, it's been picked off. The Acolyte has as well. We look back over here, we can see 9527 going for another expansion. If they can just get one up running long enough, here we do actually see Daxi has an expansion up as well. And down here, Nicker almost up. Here we do see a shade from Lucifer. He definitely did not see that. Not quite close enough. Very close, however, but not quite. So he just walked right by that. It's very difficult to imagine that 9527 could pull this off, but he's still trying for it. Him and Daxi still trying for it. They come over here, realizing they still can't harass this expansion because of those 3 Ancient Protectors, and of course you do have the Huntresses coming out as well. Here we see him coming over here and saying, well, there's not really a lot I can do up here either. They're really just looking for expansions, I believe, but maybe they just want to do some harass to prevent them from being their expansions from being found and picked off. Daxi's expansion being found and picked off as well, however, so not really too much. They're deciding to go for this if they can. If they can take out all of Lucifer's buildings here, that would be a good move, but actually one of them fake TPing back using a Staff of Teleport and canceling it, and forcing them to speed scroll away. So a little bit funny there. Good move by whoever did that, and let's see, it probably was the Death Knight, so it's probably Lucifer because he has a Staff of Teleportation. That's just a guess here. We do see Nicker's expansion and Nicker coming over here, and also it could have been Nicker. He also has a Staff of Teleportation on his Priestess of the Moon. And we do see this is 9527's last expansion on their team going down, being found by that shade, it looks like. And here you can see this is the Shadow Hunter being slept. He does happen to have a TP, and using the TP right as soon as he wakes up. We do see these Raiders running away, and this is, of course, the Blade Master running up here. Would like to do something to kill maybe the Priestess of the Moon. However, the Priestess of the Moon will get away with the Staff of Teleport, no problem. And we can see the Blade Master here with the coming up in here and basically saying, you know what, there's really nothing I'm gonna do right there, so I'm gonna run away. And we can look and just see he's kind of confused, running back and forth, not really doing a whole lot. Here we did see something die right there from these Windriders and these Raiders. And over here we can see Lucifer coming back in for the attack to try to finish off this Orc's base. Over here we can see Daxi still attempting to kill all of Lucifer's stuff here, and of course Lucifer is the only one who is tier 3. If we look over at Nicker's base, you can see that he is only tier 1, but honestly, given that they're the only ones mining, except, you know, Nicker having yet a second expansion going up and nothing for 9527 or Daxi, then I'm not sure it really matters, also considering that Lucifer has a very large good army, so it's very difficult to imagine that this is going to be doing a whole lot, but they haven't given up and their spirit has not broken yet, so yeah, you know, let him keep going. Here is Daxi's Moonwall. If all of these buildings die, they will still have to find Daxi's Moonwall and kill that as well to end the game, if it does come to that. So maybe it will some kind of a base race. However, I have a hard time believing they could win. We do see this Demon Hunter being immediately slept, getting abolished, and it does look like there's not a lot. It looks like there's no escape for 9527 or Daxi from this fight. Lucifer sitting here pretty easily able to win this fight. It looks like the Lich might go down, however, and the Lich getting very, very close to dying, running away, and sleeping on the Blade Master to keep him alive, finally getting coiled, and now going again for that Blade Master, picking him off with a Nova. It looks like this is it. It looks like there's no way that they're going to be able to get away from this, and in fact, that's a good game, and we do see a nice conclusion to that 29-minute game, which was a lot of cat and mouse. Lucifer and Nicker, of course, sitting into nice advantage pretty much through the entire game, with the Daxi and 9527 just trying to hold on by the skin of their chin if they could, and ultimately in the end not able to. So there is a second game to this. This series is a best of 3, I do believe, and we will go ahead and get into that game now. Well, I will, and then I'll have it up whenever I can. So see you then. Game 2. Right up here. There will be a link, annotation, something like that. I don't know.